Hey, what's going on? This is Jeremy. I am here for the last day trade of the week, Friday update. Um, no luck today. Got into VTVT right at around 385, just before 10 o'clock. Thought we were looking at a reasonably nice bull flag that was getting ready to break out. Jumped into the first candle that made a high, new high, um, and it just sort of flittered around for a little bit. I was in at 385. I think it hit 388. Ended up down at like 378. Moved around there for a little while. Eventually, um, it was obvious that the move I was predicting wasn't happening at that particular moment. So when it dropped back down to 380, I went ahead and stopped out. Trying to keep losses small. So didn't want to take the risk of it dropping off the table there. So maybe 15 or 20 minutes later, it finally did break out. So obviously my timing was a little poor, and I didn't have the patience to wait for the signal to set up again and sort of stick through it. So in any case, that puts me 2 red trades to 1 green on day trades this week. October has not been very good. I've got 3 green trades and 4 red. In September, I think it was like 8 green to 1 red day trade. So obviously this month has been not so good in terms of accuracy. One of the things I need to do a better job of, which has always been a struggle, is when you work a full-time job, it can be tough because oftentimes you're trading distracted. So you get a little window of opportunity, you can get in and trade, but it can be tough because you don't always have a super clear mindset and enough time to really pay attention to everything that's going on. So that can make it a little difficult. The other thing is when you're under the pattern day trade rule and you've only got 3 trades a week, if your timing's off a little bit like mine was today, I mean, ultimately, that flag broke out and it went up. But I got in it too early, so I didn't catch that move right away. To cut my losses, as short as possible, I went ahead and got out of it fairly early to try and minimize my exposure to a loss there. But because I don't have any day trades left, I can't get back in that trade if I time it wrong. So if you time it wrong, you're effectively done with that trade. You're going to take a red. I could have gotten back in it when the flag broke out. I think it popped up to like 410 or something like that. So there was room there for me to pick up 15 or 20 cents of gain if I'd have hit it right. But because I didn't and had to get out and don't have any trades left, you're red on that ticker for the day. So it was a setup that I don't think was a bad setup. It wasn't a bad entry. It just didn't work out in terms of time frame like I had hoped it would. So anyway, ended up losing a buck, just under a dollar, like 99 cents or something like that. So the account now is back below 90. So I'm back at like 89.50, 89.75, something around that area. So October's not been very good. Learning some lessons trading on Robinhood, trading with a small account. Um, Being stuck with a day trade rule can make life a little bit difficult. But to this point, I think that some of the lessons that I'm learning about doing this this way have been pretty helpful. So just need to be patient, make sure I, really pick only good setups, try and get the timing right on, because I don't have the number of trades to screw up one and then make up for it right after that. Even if timing's off a little bit, I'm not the type of person that's going to sit in one of these trades for 2 or 3 hours because I've been on the receiving end of a fast drop, a precipitous drop, way too many times over the course of the last several years where I had to learn that lesson. You sit around and hope, and a lot of times, you know, your prayers aren't answered basically, and you sit there and you hope for a reversal to come back up and put you back green, and it's never going to happen, and it slowly just bleeds off and fades away, and you end up with a huge loss. And I've done that a little bit here with the start of this account, but um, you know, I'm going to take these small losses quicker, and if that means that I ultimately miss the move that I was hoping for originally, then so be it. Um, Preserving capital is the most important thing, and let's be honest, if I drop this account much further, um, it's going to be tough to recover. But anyway, right now we're still sitting at an overall loss for the challenge at about 10%. Had been up as high as 50%. I'm down 60 bucks off of my high in September, mostly due to 2 stupid trades. That cost me 60 bucks. Other than that, I've been, if I didn't have those 2 idiotic trades on there, we'd still be sitting up a decent number. And this week has been flat. Most of last week was kind of flat, and really, That's to be expected. I mean, your equity curve is going to go up, it's going to flatten out, sometimes it'll drop a little bit. What you need to not have are those quick, significant drawdowns. And unfortunately, that's what I did with two of my trades so far this month. And it's put me in a hole, and, it has not been a great month for me in terms of accuracy to this point. And with limited trades, like I said, you know, if you have more trades, you can be wrong on your first entry and get out of it with a small loss and make up for it with a better entry when the timing, when what you expect to happen actually does happen, just at a little bit later time period. It can still be a positive trade, but when you only have one trade a day or three trades a week or however your situation ends up, if your timing is off just a little bit, it's going to end up being a red trade. So anyway, I'm in one of those flat times right now, but unfortunately, they're following the period where screwed up a couple of times and dropped the account back below the starting point. So, anyway, hope everybody has a good weekend. I am not going to be taking any swing trades today or to hold over the weekend. Hopefully, if I say that on this video, I'll stick to it. So, anyway, have a good weekend. Have a good Friday. Hope everybody had good luck this morning, and I'll check in next week. Thanks.